What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Incognito Ace. Back at it again with another video. So, today we're going to react to ESPN First Take. I'll be watching it here and there. So, we're about to react to them talking about is the Cavs too good for the Celtics? I mean, to be honest, before even getting into this, to me, honestly, it's going to be a 4-0 sweep because the Celtics really haven't shown me anything. So, let's just get into this and just see what we're talking about here with this.
LeBron's only played 8 games in 37 days. Meanwhile, Boston played in a Game 7 just 2 days ago. LeBron, you ready?
We've been focused this whole week. You know, we got a couple days off, Monday and Tuesday after we clinched versus Toronto, but since then we've been putting in work, and mentally and physically. So, you know, as far as our mental side, I'm not worried about that. It's always like the rhythm. You know, we've been off. It'll be 10 days tomorrow. You know, since we played a game, the rhythm is something that you kind of like, you know, see if we still have it. But as far as the mental side, we're focused.
Max?
Yeah.
You rarely ever classify a game as must-win, unless obviously it's a Game 7. But would you say this is a must-win for the Celtics at home tonight?
Get your oven mitts ready.
Oh, boy. Hot takes?
Hot take coming up. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals is a must-win for the Boston Celtics.
I'd call it a warm take.
Now, is warm, lukewarm, hot enough? Yeah, you got to blow on it a little bit, right? It's going to, you know, let's be honest.
A little something,
A little something. It's got a little temperature. Look, the fact of the matter is, a lot of people, when you say must-win, roll their eyes, and they'll start to give you the kind of mathematical argument. You know, not eliminated yet, then technically you always have a shot. And that defeats the purpose of what we mean when we say must win. There's some license being taken there. We're being hyperbolic in order to get the point across. So long as we understand that's the premise, Stephen A., the Celtics, if they don't get Game 1 at home, are not going to win this series. Look, we don't believe they're going to win the series anyway. But if they, obviously, they need at least a split at home. But the truth is, to win this, they're going to, they need both at home, really. If they start out losing Game 1, matter of fact, given how demoralizing that would be, they might get swept. They really need to win this to even extend the series. Now, I
might as well just get the brooms out already, Cavs fans, because
you see the way Marcus Smart, forget about Olenek. I mean, okay, that was a great game.
Not at all.
I think Marcus Smart is the key contributor to this team off the bench. When he is playing well, they got a shot. I think the way he's been playing, that obviously with Isaiah Thomas's heroics late in the game, they can win 1, maybe 2 games in this series. But they lose Game 1 at Boston, they might not get even a game. And if they want to win the series, have any chance at all, it's a must win. Because I think we would all agree if they lose it, they can't win the series. That's the definition of a must win.
Well, first of all, they're not winning the series. I haven't even entertained the notion of the Boston
like
Celtics winning
who is actually thinking that the Boston Celtics is going to beat the Cavs?
Like, come on, they get swept or they win 1 game in this series. I've got them losing in 5. So to me, the interesting element is whether or not they could take it to a 6th game in Cleveland. That's the way I look at it. To me, they don't have to win Game 1. They do have to win 1 of the games in Boston in order to have a shot. I think that it's entirely plausible, the way LeBron and the Cavaliers have looked, that the Boston Celtics can end up getting themselves swept. I will concede that they are an entirely different team on their home floor. That crowd is one of the best in the business. They're going to be hyped. But I was there, remember, about a month or so ago when Cleveland had a regular season game there in last week of the season, and LeBron and the Cavaliers just destroyed them, ran them out of their own building. LeBron just seems to be on another level right now, and Boston is going to have to step it up. I do like what I'm seeing from Avery Bradley and Al Horford in terms of their ability to hit perimeter shots. Kelly Olynyk and those boys. Also, the reason why I bring up a name like that wasn't just because of how he played against Washington, Max, but it's also
volleyball spike in
think that Boston is going to be allowed to play a physical brand of basketball. Somehow, some way, something tells me that things are going to get a bit testy, and they're going to allow Boston to be a bit more physical than they've allowed games to take place earlier throughout these playoffs. I just get the sense of that, and because of that, that makes me says, do you have to win games game one? No. You do have to win one of the games, 1 or 2, in order
you don't need to win game one.
Swept.
You don't need to win game one to make it a 5 or 6 game series, and we both agree it's about a 5 or 6 game series, something like that.
I think it's 5. I think it's 5.
And I think I just have a feeling like the Celtics might take it 6. They're feeling themselves right now. Things seem to be going their way. They got the bench contributing. They're good at home, as you mentioned. They find themselves in the unusual position of being the home team underdog, a number one
weakest
seed,
number one seed probably ever in NBA history.
Decidedly the underdog in this series. But when you say must win, to me, we're talking about to have any chance to win. Now, the series. Now, even though that's very unlikely, if the Celtics take game 1 at Boston, suddenly it's a little more likely. Suddenly we come out, especially if they look good, Stephen A., and they exploit the Cavs' defense, suddenly we're having a very different conversation, or at least a somewhat different conversation about this series. You take game 1 on your home court, until the home team loses, it's not a series. They lose game 1. They got no shot to win the series. It's a must-win for them.
Let me just take it to you this way. Here's what my experience is. The superior teams, even if they lose game 1, particularly after a considerable layoff, they can turn around in game 2 and just steamroll you. What happens is if you lose game 1, if you're the underdog and you lose game 1, you actually have more confidence when you come back and you win a game 2. Because what happens is that team that was better than you, plus they were well rested and just steamrolled you in game 1. Somehow, some way you go back to the drawing board, you prepare, you come out and you fight and you win a game 2 that actually gives you more confidence before you go on the road against them. If you're able to pull that off. That's the way I was thinking about it. Well, I know that. Trust me, I get your point. But what I'm saying to you is I think they would have more confidence feeding off of a winning game 2 than if they were feeding off of a winning game 1.
The confidence aside, I just think that they need to take, think about the last time these teams met in Boston. Boston was rested. Cleveland was playing the second of back-to-back on the road. There was something to play for. We all assumed, or at least you and I assumed, that the Cavs were going to lose this game. I mean, we were like, yeah, of course the Cavs are going to lose. We didn't really debate it.
But that was only because we didn't think they would prioritize it.
Sure.
Remember, we didn't think LeBron would play.
Sure.
Remember that?
Yes,
we didn't think LeBron was going to play, and Tyrone Lue played.
We didn't make it a debate topic because we saw it the exact same way. There was nothing to discuss. Ridiculous. How are we going to debate that? Of course they're going to. And not only did they beat Boston, they stomped them out. If the Celtics come out in game 1 on their home court feeling good like they are now, and even though, yes, it's a rested Cavs team, they get stomped out again at Boston, it's going to be a short series. If they win that game 1, we will look at this entirely differently, especially the way they're feeling themselves. Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, they're the number 3 and number 6 picks in recent drafts. They're going to have the number 1 overall pick in the draft. The way they've come together, the way Brad Stevens is showing himself as a coach. I mean, everyone knows he's a great young coach, but really demonstrating that right now. Isaiah Thomas's late heroics. Al Horford, you mentioned, coming around. The team getting contributions from Olenek and players like that. The team seems to be coalescing. It would be totally demoralizing for them to lose. But if they win, Stephen A., I'm not saying we should book some hotel rooms in Boston, but maybe just in case it wouldn't be the worst idea.
I'm just saying game 2 is a more pivotal game for me than game 1.
We'll see. All I know is it must be good to be a Boston sports fan, but we'll discuss that further a little later in the show.
That's about it right there on that. To be honest, what I'm going to say on that is that, like I said, just Boston, just get prepared for next year. I don't see them making this really that much of a context for the Cleveland Cavaliers, because they what was the season series 3-1 for the Cavs, beating them by a good 10+. Last game of the regular season in April 5th, I believe. Beat them by like 16. I don't see. So they better just go ahead and get prepared in that free agent market for a Gordon Hayward, maybe a Paul George, something like that. Or even use his number 1 pick and get that Fultz kid out of Washington. But like I said, I don't see Boston really making this a series. I mean, I'll be probably watching the games here and there, but really not paying attention too much. But well, I'm just going to just call it a video right there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.